the content evaluator for Louise. A pleasure to do that. Content on, as you know, an interview is a little bit more challenging. The title of the speech was Another Power Line. And you started off looking at us visually and talking to us about, and Maureen kind of touched on this, the cell tower controversy in Yakima. And then you brought in the fact of the power lines. With John as your interviewee, I appreciated the flow of your questions. They were very logical, and it took me from one step to another step to another step. For instance, you started out with, John, what's your expertise? And he explained about how he was an engineer but has interest in power. You asked the who, the why, the how questions. As I was sitting there listening, those would be, in my mind, if you came up with them, but you came up with the answer, or the questions that logically I would probably ask myself if I had the opportunity to do that one-on-one. You asked how much will it cost for the taxpayers, which is a good information to know. We didn't get the answer, and that's going to be somewhere down the road, but you did ask that question that I think is good. You had a good interaction with John, and you showed good listening in all of your questions, which was brought up as well. Another aspect that I liked about the content of your speech was that you gave us information in your questioning about how to find out more about this. You talked about going to the Terrace Heights Library, getting the big stack of papers, or you could go online, or you could get a CD. So if I were in the audience and I wanted to really find out more and I wanted to scrutinize that, we had the information for that. We had a good succession of questions that made very good sense. One thing that I believe that could have been clarified a little bit more in your speech is the title was Another Power Line. You started talking about cell phone towers, then the power line, and then at times it was muddled a little bit. I think if you started with the cell phone controversy, buried that topic, and then moved on and stayed strongly into the power line information, that would have been helpful. One thing I liked particularly about your speech is the topic. And to be honest, if I were looking in the paper and I saw the title, Another Power Line, that's not my idea of where I would want to read. So you made something for me that I wouldn't have read, very interesting for me to listen to and learn more about. I'm not going to go get the CD, but I learned a lot this morning. Thank you for your speech this morning.